Yun yung sinabi niya na pag-initan siya. At sasagutin na lang daw niya sa Senate hearing, which is weird. Kasi pag nandoon, sa Senate hearing, nandoon na yung PIDEA. Kaya sinabi ko sa inyo, madudurog to eh. Madudurog to, pagdating to. Unless may papakita talaga siyang ebidensya. But then again, kung may papakita siyang ebidensya, eh good luck. Baka makasuhan pa siya. Bakit mo nilabas yan? Oh. Bakit mo nilabas yan? Eh dapat sa ahensya lang yan. Weird. Let's see. Forward na. Familiar ba kayo sa dokumento?
Gawa ng kahit ano, anti-illegal drugs operation. Yan po yung ano no, yung cover letter dun sa ginawa kong pre-ops at saka yung authority to operate para po dun sa aking boss.
Kasi may perma
Yan po yung authority to operate, nakalagay po dyan yung mga vehicles na gagamitin para dun sa operation. At saka yung duration ng operation. Ano po ibig sabihin dun sa AI?
Artificial
Kasi,
intelligence.
Hindi ho
And
ako familiar
generated
dun sa
daw.
mga ganong
Okay.
Ibig nyo bang sabihin yung AI generated, computer generated?
Yes, computer generated, not original, peke, gawa-gawa ni Marlica.
Hindi po, sa pagkakatanda ko nga po,
Yan.
ako po yan. Kaya lang, meron ho kasi akong dyan sa mga dokumento na nauna nyo nang naipresenta doon sa publiko. Kasi po, meron tayong tinatawag na yung revelation of secret. Kaya ako sumulat doon sa Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency at sinulatan ko si Director General Moro Lasso patungkol po doon sa declassification ng mga classified information na naandyan sa mga dokumento niya. Ito
Yes,
pong,
sir.
yan mo pong mga dokumento ninyo, pagpaumanghin po ninyo, yan po hindi po para sa sa publiko.
Okay.
Yan po dapat nasa pag-iingat ng gobyerno, lalo na dun sa intelligence unit kung saan po dapat nandun yan. Yun po, ganun po yun. Kaya nga, sumulat po ako para papanagutin yung mga taong nasa likod ng pagpapakalat dyan at para na rin po maiwasan, maulit yung mga ganyang kahalintulad na Ngayon po, dahil nga ganun yung pagrabe, yung nailabas.
Hugas kami si Kuya.
Ngayon, ang po ng aking sulat ay magkaroon ng accountability. Yung mga
Maghuhugas
taong
ng kamay si Kuya.
magpabaya dyan sa mga dokumentong yan at doon sa mga tao na dapat ay mayroong tungkulin para ipatupad yung batas o mandato na iniatang sa kanila.
Hugas kami ito, hugas
Patungkol
kami.
po dyan doon sa mga taong nandyan po bilang subject ng operation ng PIDEA.
Naghuhugas kami siya. Pag gusto niyang sabihin, hindi galing sa kanya yan. Galing yan sa loob. Galing daw yan sa loob. Yun ang gusto niyang dyan, ikwento dyan. Kutsero, common sense will dictate. Common sense will dictate. Kung galing sa loob yan at hindi naman official document yan, bakit? Bakit hindi official? Kasi nga, walang pirma ng mga superior, walang control number. Hindi siya official. It's not an official document. Pwedeng official form yan. It's the official form. Ibig sabihin, yan yung template na ginagamit ng mga nagtatrabaho sa loob ng PIDEA. But it is not an official document. Bakit? Bakit hindi official document? Again, walang pirma kasi, walang pirma ng approving authority niya. Siya lang naman nakapirma eh. Itong Morales. Siya lang ang nakapirma. Wala ring pirma yung mga tawag dito. wala rin control number. Meaning, hindi siya minomonitor. Hindi siya monitored ng ahensya. Walang control number eh. So, how are we going to be sure? Paano tayo makakasiguro na ito ay isinulat nga noong 2012? Yan yung sila, makakatikim ng paraan yung masasakit na salita ngayon. Paano kayo makakasiguro na yan ay sinulat talaga noong 2012? Dahil may date? Dahil may date? Yun ang ipampapalusot nyo. Eh may date, nakasulat March 10, March 11. O di 2012 nga yan. Kasi nakasulat March 10, 2012 eh. Paano makakasiguro? Eh wala kang receiving copy. Di-receive ba? Di-receive ba? Ng ahensya? Hindi. Alam nyo kung bakit? Kasi mga kotsero, kapag ni-receive yan, let's say nung approving authority niya, pag ni-receive yan, pipirma yung approving authority, may kasamang date. May kasamang date. At minsan tataktakan pa yan. Tatatakan yan. Yung tatak na yun, may date. Parang kanina, parang yung pinakita ko yung may tweety. Parang ito. Papakita ko sa inyo. Isa na yun. Hindi yan. Dito na yun. Ito. Ganito ang makikita nyo. Ganyan. May tatak. Ito ang magpapatunay na ang dokumento ay nakuha on that specific date. Yan. May nakita ba kayo? Wala. Pinakita naman yung dokumento, di ba? Ano? Oh. May nakita ba kayo? Ano ba yan? May nakita kayo? Oh. Wala kayong nakikita. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya to sinubmit. Nasa kanya lang to. Hindi niya yan isunumite sa kanyang mga approving authorities. Hindi tinanggap eh. So ngayon mga kotsero, hindi natin ngayon alam kung kailan talaga to isinulat. Hindi natin alam kung kailan to sinulat. This may be, ito posible to. Posible na ito yung official form ng PIDEA. Posible yan. Pero hindi natin alam at hindi natin masa-certify kung kailan to isunumite. Kasi nga, hindi siya sinubmit. Walang receiving eh. Walang receiving. Alam nyo mga kotsero, konti lang, actually, kung ikaw ay professional, nag-work ka sa mga kumpanya, etc. Basic yan sa lahat ng kumpanya. Pag ikaw ay may ibibigay na dokumento sa kabilang departamento, tatatakan yan. Receive by Coach Jaren. Date, time. Ganyan yan. Kasi ebidensya yan, paper trail yan. Lalo na siguro sa PIDEA. Paano mo ngayon papaliwanag yan? Ibig sabihin, kung ito ay walang control number, ibig sabihin, hindi siya naging official operation. Kung hindi siya naging official operation, bakit? Kasi walang pirma yung approving authority niya. Kung may pirma yung approving authority niya, malamang natuloy ito. Kaso wala. Kung walang pirma yung approving authority niya, malamang sa malamang, hindi isunumite. Huwag niyo kong gawing tanga ang mga Pilipino. Basic yan sa mga empleyado. Alam naming lahat yan. From presidente ng kumpanya hanggang sa rank and file. Alam namin lahat yan na kapag ikaw ay magsusumite ng form, kailangan may tatak. Magpapareceive ka ng form, kailangan may tatak. Basic government transactions nga meron eh. Di ba? Nagpapatatak kayo sa mga government transactions nyo. Kukuha ka ng resibo sa gobyerno, tatatakan nyo ng gobyerno. Ito yung date. Hihingi ka ng birth certificate, may tatak, may selyo pa yun. Oh. Kasi yun ang nagpapatunay na kinuha mo ang dokumento doon sa panahon na yun. Basic yan. Alam natin lahat yan. Tapos ilulusot nyo sa amin itong napakawalang kwentang papeles natin. Sasabihin nyo sa amin, official to. This is not even official. This may be an official form, but this is not an official operation. It is not an official operation. At susugal pa ako mga kotsero ha, susugal pa ako ng teorya. Malamang sa malamang, itong Morales may kaibigan pa rin sa loob ng PIDEA. Boss, baka pwedeng pahingi dyan ng authority to operate na template. Pero malisyoso na ako mag-isip na ito. Boss, baka meron kayong dyan authority to operate. Baka naman, pwede pahingi. Or Theory 1, Theory 2, pwedeng ginawa niya talaga to, pero hindi niya sinabmit. But I'm leaning towards Theory number 1. Bakit? Kasi mga kotsero, kung totoong 2012 nangyari to, panahon to ni Panot. At hindi niya gigilon sa mga Marcos. At kung meron siyang PIDEA to, under to ng Office of the President. Kung makita niya na may Bongbong Marcos dito na merong pinaghihinala ang gumagamit ng droga, he will pounce at the opportunity. At huwag niyong sasabihin sa akin na kaibigan ni Lisa yung Ochoa. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Ano po ba yung IIS? Alam na natin. Ito. May typographical error daw. Nakakatawa to eh. Tawa ako dito nung narinig ko to kanina eh.
46C.
So ito
Dito po ba sa cover 46C, ano po ba ang tamang address?
po ay typographical lang dito sa
Opo,
pre-operation.
nangyayari naman po yan.
Okay. Alright, so ito
Really? PIDEA agent to guys. Nangyayari naman talaga yan. Nakakamali kami ng address. Really? Bawal yun. Bawal yun. Mag-ooperate ka, mali yung address mo? Hindi, typographical error na nangyayari naman. Mag-ooperate ka, maling address? Baka kaya hindi sinumite. Baka kaya hindi sinubmit kasi palyado yung address niya. Nangyayari talaga yun. Eh? Are you even talking about the same person? Are you even talking about the same location? Magkaibang address yan, 46C tsaka 46. Malaki yung diferensya nun. Paano kung walang 46? Ang meron lang 46A, 46B, 46B. O sino papasukin mo dun? Oh. Typographical error lang nangyayari talaga. On. Stop with the bullshit. Pardon my friends. Ay, gawin ng itong dalawang. Hindi naman tayo tanga. Wag mo kayong papayag na maniniwala kayo dito para gawin mo kayong tanga. Ay, goodness. excited ako ma-investiga ito bukas eh. Imagine, typographical error lang mo yun. Typographical error? Eh paano kung 46 floor? Oh, tapos let's see ilang units yun. Let's see meron kang 5 units. A, B, C, D, E. Oh, yung 5 yun, isa-search mo? Yung 5 yun, i-case mo? How stupid is that? Typographical error. Come on. Kaya natanggal yung servisyo.
Tuloy ko dito, sir. Yung dito sa cover letter, yung memorandum na. Number 3, nakalagay dito, recommendation approval of the attached pre-operation report / authority to operate, to conduct casing and surveillance, to verify the veracity of this report for their possible apprehension if warranted.
Ganito po yun, ano. Ang usual na ginagawa namin dyan, interview namin yung, ano, no, kung sino yung agent on case, ano, dun sa, ano, no, sa confidential informant.
Okay.
Sa kaso niyan, sa pagkakatanda ko, ay kinunan ko ito ng, ano, no, ng deposition of witness. Kaya ko po sa ano no, nanigurado din ako nung panahon na yon, gawa ng sa bigat ng mga personalidad na ipinakita sa akin na downloaded computer printout ng mga litrato.
Oh, shucks.
Talagang ano eh, no? Kaya nagpasya ako noon na i-reduce ko siya doon sa
Downloaded computer printout ng mga pictures.
statement. At kasabay na rin nung paghamon ko doon mismo sa confidential informant na handa ba niyang panumpaan. At
Judicial affidavit. Ano?
yung kanyang ibibigay. So, at yun nga, nangyari,
Statement
no?
niya.
Bali, kinunan ko siya ng statement na umabot kami ng gabi. Yan, kinunan ko siya. At yun, matapos doon, ginawa ko yung memo. At kinabukasan nga, yung ano na yun, yung araw na yun, ginawa naman itong pre-ops at saka yung authority to operate para makapagsagawa sana kami ng casing and surveillance.
Okay,
And,
kaso?
Pati doon sa aking instruction, doon sa confidential informant, for him na makakuha kahit bandang sample o maliit na ano, kung ano man yung makukuha niya na sinasabi niyang powdery substance na ayon sa kanya available dun sa lugar, dun sa area. Kaya yun sana yung mangyayari doon. Kaya yun yung purpose ng authority to operate at ng operation report para at least magkaroon ng masunod namin yung presumption of regularity in the performance of our official duties. Para pagpunta doon, pag-deploy ng tao, nandun sa loob, meron kaming pinanghahawakan na dokumento na lehitimo yung aming
meron po bang ipinakita sa inyo ang confidential informant na pictures na naka-attach dito sa mga dokumento nito na supposedly nasa nakatago sa PIDEA, PIDEA office?
Wala pa po ba sa inyo yung mga litrato at saka yung kopya ng affidavit?
Wala pa po. Baka parating pa lang. So,
Come on. I don't believe this one bit. Nasa kanila yan. I don't believe this one bit. Drama yan. Drama yan. Nag-i-introduce na sila ng bagong characters. Nag-i-introduce na sila ng bagong characters, guys. On. Kailangan pa yung Photoshop eh. Kailangan pa yung Photoshop, guys. Kalmahan nyo lang. Hintay lang doon natin. Kakapag-Photoshop natin.
So, gusto ko po, so meron pong litrato.
Meron pong litrato, wala pong video. Kasi yung pong litrato na yun, nanggaling po doon sa cellphone ng reporting o nung confidential informant. At doon nga po, kaya isa po doon sa
Wait.
Na pictures na naka-attach dito sa mga dokumento ito na supposedly nasa nakatago sa PIDEA, PIDEA office.
Wala pa po ba sa inyo yun?
Wala pa po.
Meron pong litrato, wala pong video. Kasi
Kaparating pa lang po. So gusto ko,
yun, nanggaling,
meron pong litrato.
meron pong litrato, wala pong video. Kasi yung
Tatapusin pa ba natin to? Tatapusin pa ba natin to, guys? Anyari sa pulburon video nyo? Akala ko ba napanood nyo na? Akala ko ba napanood nyo na? Ang daming nag-post na DDS vloggers na ang sabi, napanood na raw nila. Kumakalat na raw at napanood na raw nila. Nasaan? Ngayon, litrato na lang, wala nang video. Litrato na lang ngayon, wala nang video. Litrato na lang, wala nang video. Ganon. Nag-i-introduce na kayo ng bagong characters, nagkukwento na kayo ng ibang storya. Ibig sabihin, nahirapan kayong mag-edit. Nahirapan kayong mag-edit. Wala nang video eh. So, litrato na lang. So, ngayon, i-expect na lang ng mga tao, ay, wala rong video eh, wala rong video. Litrato na lang daw. Siyempre, yung mga DBS lalo, kasi sobrang tanga ng mga DBS. Yung mga DBS, hindi na sila mag-i-expect ng video. Picture na lang. O di, ang next step, pictures. Yun ang next step. Wala na to. Kalokohan na to. Wala nang kwentang pag-usapan tong mokong na to. Totoo lang. Ano na? Pag-uusapan pa ba ito sa Senate hearing bukas? Etong ganitong klaseng kabubuhan ng pag-uusapan do? Ang linaw, no? Ilang beses ko inulit-ulit para marinig nyo. Ilang beses ko inulit-ulit para marinig nyo. Walang video. Picture lang daw. Picture. Nagbabago na sila ng kwento. Pero very subtle. Very subtle para hindi masyadong obvious. Very, very subtle. So, anong iniyak-iyak nyo noong December hanggang most recently? Nasaan namin? Sabi nyo, napanood nyo na, di ba? Nagsala-salabat na mga kwento nyo kasi nahihirapan kayo mag-produce ng mga ebidensya. Alam niyo, nakakatawa dito mga kojero. Ganito yung sistema nila. Yung January, sinabi ni Digong Sinabi ni Digong. Diyan na. Kinausap ako ng PIDEA, may pinakita silang nasa listahan si Bongbong Marcos. Yung sinabi nila. Ano nangyari? A few months later, may ganito. Yung PIDEA leaks. A few months later. Naghintay ka lang ng isang buwan kalahati. Yung PIDEA leaks. Flashback ulit. Sinabi ni Digong. Tanong kasi siya ng press eh. Naniniwala po ba kayo na may video si Presidente na nagko-cocaine? Ano sinabi ni Digong? Wala yan. Walang video yan. Kung dati pang may video, ibig sabihin, dati pa lumabas yan. Ano ngayon na nangyari? Wala nang video. Picture na lang. See? Sino ang orchestrator ng script? Real time sila magpalit ng script, guys. Real time sila magpalit ng kwento. Kung ano yung sabihin ni Digong, i-a-adjust nila yung kwento. Pansinin nyo ha. Sinabi ni Digong na merong listahan na pinakita galing PIDEA. Magsalita ang PIDEA. Sabi walang listahan yan. Wala yan sa listahan namin. Biglang nagkaroon ng pre-operation report tsaka authority to operate. Bigla out of the blue. A few weeks later, tinanong si Digong tungkol dyan sa video. Sabi niya, wala yung video na yan. Kung dati pa yan, kung meron talagang video yan, dati pa lumabas yan. Sinabi ni Digong yun. Ano nangyari ngayon? Walang video, picture, meron. So, sinong sumusulat ng script? Si Digong. At nag-a-adjust silang lahat. Depende sa kwento ng Digong. Nadulas si Maharlika dati, di ba? Ano sinabi ni Maharlika? Nilabas ko lang yung sinabi. Si Digong talaga to. Nilabas ko lang yung sinabi ni Digong. It's making sense. Sila na ang naglalaglag sa sarili nila. Sila na naglalaglag sa mga sarili nila. So, totoo yung sinabi ni Digong. Tanim intriga talaga siya. Tanim intriga sila. Palahura talaga. Correct. Sa Lida Baluyot, wala namang sinabing merong photos before, di ba? Video ang sinasabi, walang photos. O ngayon may photos na. Bakit? Kasi sinabi ni Digong na walang video eh. Picture na lang. Siyempre, yung mga tao ang bulag, ang bias, paniniwala sa ito. Bulag sila eh. kaya sila. Paniniwala sila dyan. But we don't have to. We don't have to. Alam niyo mga kotsero, ito pa nga eh. Kahit sabihin ni PBBM na tao dito, sige, labas niyo lahat ng dokumento niyo tungkol sa akin. I'm hoping nga na gano'n gawin ni PBBM para matigil. Labas niyo lahat ng dokumento tungkol sa akin. Kung kinising niyo ako before, inimbestigahan niyo ako, o surveillance niyo ako, labas niyo. Pero syempre, hindi niya bibigyan ng hindi niya bibigyan ng bigat yan. He will give it. Kasi pag pinansin niya yan, ibig sabihin, kapansin-pansin. At pag bumukha siyang defensive. Alam niyo mga kotsero, ito yung mga tipo ng issue na damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hindi mo sagutin, mapapasama ka. Sagutin mo, mapapasama ka pa rin. So might as well, wag ka na lang sumagot. Kaya mo na lang sila mag-invento ng kanilang mga kwento. Kasi at the end of the day, mabibisto naman yung katotohanan. Nabisto natin ngayon. Nabisto natin ngayon. Nakita nyo yung pattern, di ba? Sinabi ni Digong, nakita niya sa PIDEA, sa listahan, nagkaroon ng authority to operate and pre-operation report galing PIDEA. Sinabi ni Digong na walang video. Sabi, walang video, picture lang. May pattern. May pattern. So, if anything, kung di pa rin kayo naniniwala sa mga sinabi ko, wala problema. Hindi ko naman kayo pinipilit. Ang akin lang dito, kung paninindigan nyo yan, ano na mga Duterte Balahura supporters dito. Kung paninindigan nyo yung pinapaniwalaan nyo, make sure, siguruhin nyo, na kung itatayaan nyo yung pagkatao nyo at kredibilidad nyo dyan sa pinapaniwalaan nyo, siguruhin nyo, 100% totoo yung pinapaniwalaan nyo. Kasi buwis kredibilidad dyan. Buwis pangalan at kredibilidad eh. Hindi lang yung akin. Kaya nga, this is not worth the Senate hearing. I don't understand kung bakit pinansin pa ito ni Pato de la Rosa. Wala sila. Baka meron silang bagong drama na i-reveal. Baka yung pictures, doon nila i-reveal sa Senate hearing. Para mo legit. Kasi sa Senate hearing lumabas. Abangan ko yan. Abangan ko yan. Ayan. Pag yan nangyari, mga kotsero, pag nangyari itong sinabi kong ito, na ang pictures ilalabas sa Senate hearing, alam nyo na. Yan na yung script. Baka second or third act na yun. Alam nyo na yan ha. Pag bukas, pag sa mga hearing, may bigla lumabas na picture na si PBBM nagsisingot ng droga. Malamang sa malamang, yun na yun. Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na script. Kadyan lang tayo for tonight. Di ba? Ba tayo mag-send? Not tonight. Next time. Okay. Shoutout muna tayo mga kotsero. Ma'am Cirila Valverde, Ma'am Gemma Yambak, Chris Jr., Maria Corazon Munar, Ate Susan De La Peña, Mahalil Custodio, Randy Rubiales, Ina, Amil Alks. Salamat po sa inyong super chat. Apple Service, LP Vlog, Melissa Ocasio, Rosemary Cadavos, John Villar, Ruben Esperanza, The Greater One, Lawrence Nino Uy, Felisa Ludes, Stone Trooper, DJ Byron, Music and Topic TV, Albert Climacosa, Ate Trexie, Nilda Galvez, Ronald Osorio, Tabs, Belian Camba, Tenfold, Kazune, Renzi Gamilia, Rosalina Baluyot, Lester Rand Vlog, Rosami Cadavos, Arlene Asis, Renny Watanigan, Mariel T, Albert Limacosa, Melissa Ocasio, pasensya na po, di ako nakabasa ng Arabic, Jen A, Kenneth Reyes. Mag-upload na lang ako ng vlogs kung wala akong live bukas. Sige, try natin. Kumekli lang naman di ba? Why not? Kumekli lang. I can upload the vlog. A vlog. Anyway. Johnny Pabon, Gilbert Pineda, Melissa Ocasio, Panda 2234, Gwen Kohler, Soft Bites Unlimited, Reja TV, Liam,
Imagine the horror scenario of a brain being kept alive in isolation from the rest of the body. It would probably be pure torture. This brain would have to be in an incubator that supplies it with blood and nutrients. If the brain had only been separated from the rest of the body after consciousness had developed, this person would probably be in complete darkness while fully conscious. There would be no sense of touch, no pain, no proprioception, no smell, and no hearing. They would be trapped in their own head and have no way of escaping their own thoughts. However, if the brain was grown in an incubator from the beginning, it is questionable whether consciousness would have ever developed without external stimuli. What sounds like science fiction is not so far removed from reality. In fact, the brains of many different organisms have been kept alive in vitro for hours or sometimes even days as part of scientific experiments. Imagine the horror scenario of a brain being kept alive in isolation from the rest of the body. It would probably be pure torture. This brain would have to be in an incubator that supplies it with blood.
Para no sweat summer, mag-grab food.
今の二人はただの地球の力もない小僧だ。たけし、この瞬間二人には燃える友情が戻った。私は信じるぞ。
お兄ちゃん、およだ。あなたが見たのはきっと中ロマ島よ。
思いっきりカツラだね。
変身忍者嵐はその刀のつばに特殊な振動を受けると脳神経が異常活動を始める。変身するのだ。
変身忍者嵐。危険。影写し。
汚い。影写しだって。
影写しとは刀に敵の姿を映して光を浴びせタイミングを狂わせて切るのだ。
How may I help you, officer?
By resisting arrest.
Don't count on it, chum. Anyway, what's the charge?
The murder of Anne Lewis. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Daggett, you can have OCP. It's all yours. Sayonara.
Where are you going? You're gonna miss all the fun.
No flashy bravery, Tin Man. Or the two cuties say bye-bye.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Stop them! Stop them! Stupid fools! Don't you know what you've done to us? Those androids are programmed with a thermal failsafe device.
We're rigged to self-destruct.
In 15 seconds, everything within 20 yards of where we're standing will be atomized.
We're dead, you stupid slag!
Don't count on it, chum.
and go through those. Charge up the good. Come to heart.
Faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Please remove any metallic items you're carrying, keys, loose change. Holy shit! Ugh!
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability. That is the sound of your death. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson. My name is Neo.
Upgrades.
Yes, that's it. It'll be over soon.
Okay, you have some skill. Kill you.
Neo. This is it. This is your last chance. You gotta fight for your goddamn life if you want to see Trinity again.
After all, you are the one who set me free. Again. So you more than anyone understands why I can't go back. You should have listened to me. Now you'll never see her again. That was Neo.
Why is Trinity also the One? One of the great revelations of Matrix Resurrections was seeing Trinity manifesting the powers of the anomaly, flying just like Neo. This suggests that the Messiah's destiny is linked to hers, perhaps by the predestination imposed by the Oracle when she prophesied that Trinity would fall in love with the One. But the anomaly seems to be an entity divided into three: love embodied by Trinity, hatred represented by Smith, and Neo as the meeting point between both.
Check to see if your hotel mirrors are safe and it could save your life. This woman was suspicious her hotel mirror was a two-way mirror and someone was watching her. But she made a square with 4 pieces of tape and colored in the top left side with a black dry erase marker. The end will shock you though, and you have to see if someone was spying on her or not. She colored the next part green and couldn't wait to solve the mystery. But she filled in the other side with red. She had to color in the bottom right corner too and made it blue before she traced the outline of the square. But nothing could prepare you for the end. She taped over the middle and pressed it down. This is when it really got insane though. She peeled off the top of the tape and slowly pulled it off the mirror, but the colors came right off. This last part is the most important to watch though if you want to be safe in hotels. She pressed her nail against the glass and luckily there was a gap between her nail and its reflection. But if there wasn't a gap, that meant it was a two-way mirror and someone could be watching her on the other side. This is how you check to see if your hotel mirrors are safe and it could save your life. This woman was suspicious her hotel mirror was a two-way mirror and someone was watching her. But she made a square with 4 pieces of tape and colored in the top left side with a black dry erase marker. The end will shock you though, and you have to see if someone was spying on her or not.
Dito ka na sa tama ang timpla. Great Taste White.
Sama na naman.
Paano kung mauubos ang lahat ng lamok sa mundo? Naranasan mo na ba to? Yung kumakain ka pero hindi ka makapag-concentrate kasi ang daming lamok na kumakagat sa'yo. O yung hindi ka makatulog dahil sa mga lamok. O kung makatulog man, yung paggising mo ang dami mo ng pula sa katawan dahil sa kagat ng lamok. May iba pa ngang nakaranas na ng dengue dyan dahil sa lamok. Minsan mapapaisip ka na lang na sana maubos na lang tong mga lamok na to para hindi ka na ma-bad trip o magkasakit. Kaya ang tanong, ano nga ba ang mangyayari kung mauubos ang lahat ng lamok sa mundo? Pag-usapan natin. Ayon sa mga datos, sa kabuuan tinatayang may 110 trillion na lamok sa mundo. Sa Alaska lamang ay may estimated na 7 trillion na lamok. Ang ibig sabihin, bawat tao sa mundo may katumbas ito na 16,000 na lamok. Nabubuhay lamang sila sa loob ng 2 weeks hanggang 6 months. Marami sa atin ang nag-aakala na ang lahat ng lamok ay nagdadala ng sakit. Pero alam mo ba na mula sa 3,500 na iba't ibang klase ng lamok, 3 species lamang ang nagkakalat ng sakit. At ito ay ang mga babaeng lamok dahil hindi nangangagat ang mga lalaki. Kailangang makuha ng mga babaeng lamok ang tamang sustansya upang panatilihing malusog ang egg nito sa loob. At ito ang rason kung bakit kailangan nila ng maraming dugo. Ano nga ba ang epekto kung mauubos sila? Ang pinakamalaking epekto nito ay kung wala ng lamok sa mundo, libo-libong buhay ang maliligtas mula sa mga dalang sakit nito bawat taon. Lalo na ang mga batang may edad na 5 years old and below dahil sila ang karaniwang biktima. Ayon sa Pfizer.com, mahigit sa 700,000 na tao ang namamatay taon-taon dahil sa sakit na dala ng mga lamok. Sa katunayan, tinatawag ito ng US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention bilang World's Deadliest Animal. Gayunpaman, kailangan mong malaman na hindi naman talaga sa mga lamok nang gagaling ang sakit na dala nila. Ang problema lang ay nagsisilbi silang sasakyan nito na walang alam na naikakalat na pala nila ang sakit. Hindi rin na lahat ng germs na mayroon ng mga babaeng lamok ay delikado sa mga tao. Maswerte pa rin tayo dahil mga babaeng lamok lang ang nagkakalat ng sakit. Paano na kaya kung kasama pa pati ang mga lalaking lamok? Kadalasan ng sakit na dala ng lamok ay mula rin sa atin o sa mga hayop. Tuwing kumakagat sila para sa dugo, nakukuha din nila ang ilang harmful bacteria, parasites o virus mula sa host. Kaya kung nakakagat sila ng may dengue bago sila nakakagat sa'yo, malaki rin ang posibilidad mong magka-dengue. Kapag naman ang mga lamok ay kumakagat at kumukuha ng dugo mula sa isang tao na mayroong parasites, tulad ng Plasmodium na sanhi ng malaria, maaari nilang makuha ang mga ito. Ang mga parasites ay dumadaan sa isang developmental cycle sa loob ng lamok bago sila maging sapat na mature upang maipasa. At kapag muli silang kumagat, maaaring maipasa ng lamok ang mga mature na parasites sa ibang tao sa pamamagitan ng kanilang laway na iniwan nila sa sugat. Ito ang proseso kung paano tayo nagkakasakit mula sa kagat ng lamok na may dalang sakit. May epekto din ito sa mga pananim. Tulad ng ibang mga hayop, may papel din sa ecosystem ang mga lamok. Kung mawawala ang mga lamok, posibleng may mga panibagong species na papalit sa ecological niche na iiwan nila. Ito ay dahil sa konsepto ng ecological succession at niche replacement, kung saan ang isang ecological niche na nabakante ay maaaring mapunan ng ibang mga organismo na may kakayahang gampanan ang parehong papel sa ecosystem. Lingid sa kaalaman ng marami, pollinators din ang mga lamok. Sa katunayan, ang pangunahing pagkain nila ay ang nectar ng mga bulaklak at hindi dugo. Katulad ng mga bubuyog at paru-paro, nililipat din ng mga lamok ang mga pollen mula sa isang bulaklak papunta sa isa pa. Tumutulong sila sa pag-fertilize ng mga pananim at sa pagbuo ng mga seeds at sa pagdami nito. Kung ang mga lamok ay mawawala bilang pollinators, ibang mga insekto tulad ng mga bubuyog, butterflies at iba pang uri ng mga lumilipad na insekto ay maaaring dumami at pumalit sa papel na ginagampanan ng mga lamok sa pollination. Ito ay maaaring magresulta sa pagbabago ng komposisyon ng mga pollinator species sa iba't ibang ecosystems. Gayunpaman, maraming scientists pa rin ang naniniwala na kahit mag-iba ang komposisyon ng pollinator species, hindi naman ito makakaapekto ng masama sa mga tao. Ang biglaang pagkawala ng mga lamok ay maaari ring magbigay daan sa pagdami ng ibang mga insekto na maaaring hindi kasing beneficial sa tao o sa ecosystem. Halimbawa, kung ang mga lamok ay hindi na magagampanan ng kanilang papel bilang isang limiting factor sa populasyon ng ibang mga insekto, maaaring magkaroon ng pagdami ng ibang mga insekto na maaaring magdala ng ibang mga sakit. Maaapektuhan din ang mga hayop kapag naubos ang mga lamok. May mga hayop na umaasa sa kanila para sa nutrisyon. Isa na dito ang mosquito fish, isang kakaibang predator na pumapatay ng mosquito larva. Ayon sa ilang entomologists, mahihirapan ng maraming klase ng mga isda kung mawawala ang mga lamok at posible pa nga na may ilan sa kanila na maging extinct. Marami pang mga hayop ang kumakain ng lamok. Ilan sa mga ito ay ang mga ibon, paniki, gagamba, salamanders, mga palaka at iba pang insekto na kumakain ng lamok. Kung mauubos ang mga lamok, maaaring maghanap ng ibang mga pagkain o kaya naman ay maaaring magbago ang kanilang populasyon depende sa availability ng alternatibong pagkain. Maaaring magdulot ito ng chain reaction sa food web kung saan ang pagbabago sa populasyon ng isang species ay maaaring makaapekto sa populasyon ng iba pang mga species. Gayunpaman, hindi naman lamok lang ang kinakain ng mga hayop na ito upang mabuhay. Kaya kung maaapektuhan man sila, hindi sila magiging extinct kasi may iba pa silang nakakain. Sa madaling salita, karamihan sa mga species ng hayop ay hindi magugutom kung mauubos man ang mga lamok. Sa katunayan, posible pa ngang may ilan na mas gaganda ang buhay kung wala na sila. Kung maraming magandang epekto nga ang pag-ubos ng mga lamok, hindi ito masyadong nakakasama. Paano naman natin gagawin iyon? May mga scientists na mula sa Oxford University ang sumubok na i-modify ang mga male mosquitoes para sa mga species na may dala ng Zika virus at dengue, ang Aedes aegypti. Sa pamamagitan nito, hindi nalalaki ng maayos sa mga larva ng mga lamok at hindi rin sila pwedeng makareproduce, kaya hindi na sila dadami pang muli at mauubos pag namatay na ang mga buhay na lamok ngayon. Ginawa nila ito sa Cayman Islands at halos 96% sa kanila ang naubos sa mga kalapit na areas. Gayunpaman, ayon sa isang entomologist na si Phil Low-Nibus, kailangan pa rin nating mag-ingat pagdating sa pag-ubos sa mga lamok. Sa kabuuan, oo, kung mauubos ang mga lamok, mababawasan ang mahahawa ng ilang mga sakit na kinakalat nila. Pero paano kung magkaroon naman tayo ng ibang problema tulad ng pagkasira ng natural balance ng ating ecosystem o ang pagdami ng ibang mga insekto na mas delikado pa kaysa sa mga lamok? Para tuloy-tuloy ang saya at kwentuhan, huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe sa Bubbly YouTube channel at pindutin ang notification bell. Naniniwala ka ba sa past life at reincarnation? Pwede kaya na hindi lang isang beses nabubuhay ang tao? Ang tatlong makapanindig balahibong kwentong ito ang magpapatunay sa iyo na maaaring totoo ang reincarnation at madalas sa mga nakakaalala sa kanila ay mga bata. Maniniwala ka kaya kung magkwento ang isang bata na dati siya ay isang sundalo na pinatay ng mga Hapon? Paano kung bigla siyang magbigay ng detalye tungkol sa giyera na walang nakakaalam? Pero paano kung biglang humiling ang bata na ibalik siya sa Hollywood dahil isa siyang dating Hollywood star? Maniniwala ka ba? Ang susunod na kwento ay talagang magpapaniwala sa iyo. Isang bata mula sa Oklahoma ang nagsabing posible ito dahil siya mismo ay sinasabing reincarnation ng isang Hollywood star. Ipinanganak si Ryan Hammonds noong 2004 sa Oklahoma. Sa una ay nahirapan siyang magsalita dahil sa sakit sa lalamunan, ngunit nung naoperahan ay nagsimula siyang magkwento ng mga kakaibang pangyayari. Magigising na lamang ang mga magulang ni Ryan tuwing alas 2 ng madaling araw dahil sumisigaw ito at nagmamakaawa na ibalik ito sa dati niyang tinitirhan, sa mas magandang bahay at sa dati niyang pamilya. Gusto na daw niyang makita ang kanyang 3 adopted sons, isang babaeng anak at ang 2 niyang babaeng kapatid. Sinabi niya rin na nagtatrabaho siya noon sa isang agency kung saan pwedeng magpalit ng pangalan ng mga tao. Hindi dito natatapos ang kwento ni Ryan. Ayon sa kanya ay mayroon siyang bahay na ang pangalan ay The Rock at noon ay sumayaw siya sa Broadway. Nabagabag ang ina ni Ryan na si Cindy dahil sa mga kwentong ito. Para masagot ang mga katanungan niya, nag-research si Cindy ng mga libro tungkol sa Hollywood sa kanilang community library at ipinakita ito kay Ryan. Sa isang page ay nakita nila ang isang picture na mula sa pelikulang Night After Night. Tinuro ni Ryan ang isa sa mga lalaki sa litrato at sinabing siya daw ito. Kinilala niya rin ang isang kasama na si George at ang isa pang artista na gumanap bilang cowboy at nasa commercial ng sigarilyo. Na-identify ng isang film archivist na ang lalaking itinuro ni Ryan na siya ay si Marty Martin. Nakakapanindig balahibo ang mga detalyeng sunod na nalaman. Tugma sa kwento ni Ryan, si Marty Martin o sa totoong buhay, Morris Kolinsky ay naging tap dancer sa Broadway at nakasama sa pelikulang Night After Night na ang bida ay si George Raft, ang sinasabi ni Ryan na kaibigan niya. Hindi naging matagumpay ang karir ni Marty sa acting, kaya't nagtatag ito ng talent agency. Katulad ng sabi ni Ryan, ay naging matagumpay ito. Maaaring sinabi niya na pwedeng magpalit ng pangalan ng mga tao sa kanyang agency dahil ang mga artista dito ay nagkakaroon ng mga stage names. Naging kaibigan niya si Gordon Nance na gumawa ng mga cowboy movies at mga patalastas tungkol sa sigarilyo, katulad ng sinabi ni Ryan. 4 na beses na nag-asawa si Marty. Nagkaroon siya ng isang anak na babae at 5 stepchildren. Legal niya na inadapt ang 3 sa mga ito. Dahil dito, dinala si Ryan sa dati niyang bahay at doon niya nakita ang anak ni Marty o kanyang anak sa past life na noon ay 57 years old na. 8 taong gulang lamang ito nang mamatay si Marty. Ang mga impormasyon na sinabi ni Ryan ay wala sa internet o sa TV. Sa katunayan, kinailangan pa ng maiging research para mahanap ang taong tinutukoy ni Ryan na siya noon. Pero teka, hindi lang si Ryan ang nakaranas ng ganitong pangyayari. Taong 1946, ipinanganak ang panganay ng pamilya Pollocks na si Joanna. Simple at komportable ang kanilang pamumuhay. Ang mag-asawang John at Florence ay mayroong grocery at dairy delivery business. 5 taon ang nakalipas, isinilang naman ang pangalawa nilang anak na si Jacqueline. Naging malapit ang dalawang magkapatid at madalas nilang naging bonding ay ang pagsusuot ng mga damit at pag-aacting-actingan. Noong 3 taong gulang pa lang si Jacqueline ay nahulog ito sa isang batya dahilan upang magkaroon siya ng scar sa noo. Ito na ang naging permanenteng palatandaan niya kasama ang isang birthmark na nasa kanyang baywang. Ngunit naging maikli ang buhay ni na Jacqueline at Joanna. Papunta noon sa simbahan ng dalawang magkapatid, kasama ang isa pa nilang kaibigan na si Anthony nang mabangga sila ng kotse. Naging malaking dagok sa mag-asawang Pollocks ang pagkawala ng dalawa nilang anak. Ang amang si John ay nagkaroon ng paniniwala na balang araw ay babalik silang dalawa. Mahigpit na naniniwala si John sa reincarnation, habang ang asawang si Florence naman ay hindi naniniwala dito. Naging dahilan ito ng muntik nilang paghihiwalay. Ngunit nagbago ang lahat nang muling mabuntis si Florence. Noong una, sinabi ng kanilang doktor na single pregnancy lang ito o isang bata lang ang nasa tiyan ni Florence. Ngunit nang manganak siya, kambal ang lumabas. Muling naging maayos ang pagsasama ng mag-asawa at para magsimula ng bagong buhay ay lumipat sila ng tirahan. Ngunit ang mapayapa nilang pamumuhay ay di nagtagal nang ang kambal na si Gillian at Jennifer ay biglang nagpakita ng kakaibang mga ugali. Habang lumalaki ang kambal ay nagiging katulad ni na Jacqueline at Joanna ang kanilang kilos. Si Gillian ay naging kaugali ni Joanna na kadalasan ay umaaktong mas matanda kaysa sa kakambal na si Jennifer na para namang si Jacqueline. Madalas din nilang nilalaro ang mga paboritong laro nila Joanna katulad ng pagsusuot ng damit at pag-aayos ng buhok. Tila alam din nila kung anong laruan ang pagmamayari ni Jacqueline at kung ano ang kay Joanna. Noong ibinigay sa kanila ang dating laruan ng kanilang namayapang kapatid, agad na kinuha ni Gillian ang laruan ni Joanna, samantalang kinuha naman ni Jennifer ang laruan ni Jacqueline. Ang mas nakakamangha pa ay pinangalanan nila ang mga laruan na kapareho ng mga pinangalan nila Jacqueline at Joanna sa mga ito. Katulad ni Jacqueline, si Jennifer ay mayroong ding scar sa kanyang noo at mayroong birthmark sa baywang. Hindi lang ito, 9 na buwan lamang ang kambal nang lumipat ang mga Pollocks sa ibang lugar. Ngunit noong dinala ang mga ito sa dati nilang tinitirhan kung saan lumaki sina Jacqueline at Joanna, tila alam na alam ng kambal ang pasikot-sikot sa lugar at ang pangalan ng mga buildings dito. Minsan nga ay itinuro nila ang isang park at naglakad sa isang swing na parang kabisado na ang daan papunta roon. Tinuro din nila ang dating paaralan nila Jacqueline kahit na hindi naman ito nabanggit sa kanila. Pero ang talagang nakakapanindig balahibo ay ang takot ng dalawa sa mga sasakyan. Sumisigaw sila kapag may lumalapit na sasakyan at sinasabing mababangga sila nito. Minsan din ay naririnig ni Florence ang dalawa na pinag-uusapan ang detalye ng nangyaring aksidente na parang kasama sila doon. Tinuturo pa ni Gillian kay Jennifer ang mga mata nito at sinasabing may dugong lumabas dito dahil dito siya tinamaan ng kotse. Tama ang detalyeng ito dahil may sugat sa itaas ng mata si Jacqueline nang matagpuan ito. Dahil sa mga pangyayaring ito, nakumbinsi ang mag-asawa na talagang bumalik sina Joanna at Jacqueline sa katawan ng kambal. Pero mas makukumbinsi ka na talagang posible ang reincarnation sa susunod na kwento. Magdadalawang taon pa lamang si James noong magpakita siya ng kakaibang ugali. Nagsimula ang lahat nung una siyang dinala ng ama sa Cavanaugh Flight Museum kung saan nakita niya ang mga eroplanong ginamit noong World War II. Dito nagsimula ang kanyang hilig sa mga airplane. 2 buwan ang nakalipas, dinala siyang muli ng kanyang tatay sa museum at doon ay mas lalong namangha si James sa mga eroplano. Ngunit hindi naging mabuti ang dulot nito sa bata. Madalas ay maririnig ng kanyang mga magulang si James na sumisigaw ng "Airplane crash on fire!" At pagkatapos ay itatapon niya ang kanyang laruang eroplano hanggang sa masira ang mga ito. Nagsimula na rin siyang magkaroon ng mga bangungot tungkol sa isang eroplano na nag-crash. Habang nananaginip ay paulit-ulit niyang sinasabi na, "Airplane crash on fire! Little man can't get out!" Kinuwento niya sa kanyang mga magulang na ang mga napapanaginipan niya ay ang mga nangyari sa kanya noon. Ayon kay James, pinabagsak ng mga Japanese ang kanyang eroplano noong World War II. Sinabi niya rin na isang kosa ang kanyang pinalipad. Dinagdag pa ni James na lumipad ang kanyang eroplano mula sa isang barko na ang pangalan ay Natoma. Hinanap ito ng kanyang ama sa internet at makapanindig balahibo ang kanyang natagpuan. May isang barko nga talaga na ang pangalan ay USS Naruma, isang escort carrier na nakastation sa Pacific noong World War II. Noong tinanong si James kung sino ang little man sa kanyang panaginip, ang sabi niya ay siya daw ito. Ngunit nang tinanong kung may kasama ba siya, ang sabi ni James ay kasama niya ang isang Jack Larson. Hindi dito natapos ang pag-alala ni James sa kanyang past life. Ilang buwan lamang pagkatapos mag2 taon, habang may binabasang libro ang kanyang tatay na ang pamagat ay The Battle of Iwo Jima, nakita niya ang larawan ng isang isla kung saan nandoon ang Mount Suribachi at sinabi ni James na doon bumagsak ang kanyang eroplano. Matapos ang isang linggo, may nakausap na war veteran mula sa Naruma Bay ang tatay ni James at sinabi nitong mayroon ngang piloto na nagngangalang Jack Larson, ngunit hindi na ito nakabalik mula sa isang misyon kaya't walang nakakaalam ng tunay na nangyari dito. Pero hindi dito nagtatapos ang kwento ni James. Habang lumalaki si James at natututong mag-drawing, ay sinimulan niyang mag-drawing ng mga airplane. Sa bawat drawing niya ay nilalagay niya ang James 3. Noong tinanong siya kung bakit, ang sagot niya ay siya daw ang ikatlong James. Nagkaroon ng pagkakataon si James na umattend ng reunion ng mga sundalong nakasama sa Naruma Bay. At dito nalaman na si Jack Larson ay nakaligtas at isang piloto lamang ang nawala sa Battle of Iwo Jima. Ito ay ang 21 anyos na si James Huston Jr. Ito ang rason kung bakit sinabi ni James na siya ang pangatlong James. Tumutugma rin ang detalye ng kwento ni James sa mga nangyari noon sa Battle of Iwo Jima. Ayon kay James ay bumagsak ang kanyang eroplano dahil tinamaan ito sa may bandang engine o makina. Ayon sa mga eyewitness at war veteran, nakita nila ang airplane ni James Houston na tinamaan sa makina nito. Kumpirmado na rin na si James Houston Jr. ang tanging piloto mula sa USS Naruma na namatay sa operation sa Iwo Jima. Sinabi niya na kasama niya si Jack Larson dahil ito ang piloto na lumipad malapit sa kanya. Ang mga panaginip ni James kung saan hindi siya makalabas sa nag-crash na eroplano ay tugma sa nangyari sa eroplano ni James Houston Jr. dahil lumubog ito sa dagat at wala nang nakitang parte nito. Ayon kay James, isang kosa ang pinalipad niya, ngunit isang FM-2 ang pinalipad ni Houston noong mamatay ito. Pero nagpalipad din naman ng kosa si Houston sa kanyang testing drive. Ang mga detalyeng sinabi ni James ay tugma lahat sa mga sinabi ng mga war veteran. Posible kaya na muling nabuhay si James Houston sa kanyang katawan? Noong 17 years old na si James, ay naging Eagle Scout siya. Kung siya nga talaga si James Houston noon, masasabi nating mahal niya talaga ang pagsisilbi sa kanyang bayan at kapwa. Naniniwala ka ba sa mga kwentong ito ng reincarnation? Paano kung ikaw mismo ay may past life pala? Gusto mo rin bang maalala kung ano at sino ka noon? Comment down below. Para tuloy-tuloy ang saya at kwentuhan, huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe sa Bubli YouTube channel at pindutin ang notification.
Last time on Kakume, the wizard Dula met his end at the hands of Broly after the villain decided he was going to sacrifice himself to take out the entire planet. Like many self-destructions in the series, this one was also met with failure as the brutish Saiyan was able to finish him off before he could enact his plan. Now, we're left with only the God of Destruction Amaron and what appears to be Ultra Instinct Vegeta. As Vegeta emanates with that familiar aura, raw power surging through him is unmistakable. It's a force that resonates with the very essence of his being, tapping into a realm of strength previously thought unreachable. Though, like every other obstacle placed before the prince, he has overcome this one too. Vegeta has tapped into the power that up until now only his biggest rival and the angels themselves have been able to summon. He knows that he still has too little control over this power, so he's not sure if it's going to be enough against this opponent. But if he thinks he can get away with committing such a massive massacre, he's got another thing coming. He must surely know that doing this is quite the gamble, but what other choice is there? The Destroyer, whose face is barely recognizable beneath the remnants of a shattered mask. He contorts into a maniacal sneer as he gazes upon Vegeta. He hisses that the pressure Vegeta exudes is exactly what he's been noticing this entire fight. Now that they're here, the Saiyan has made the effort to go all out, so there's no reason for himself to hold back any longer. The Saiyan has unleashed his full potential, tapping into a reservoir of strength that rivals even the most formidable of opponents. There's no denying the gravity of the situation. This is what their entire battle has been leading up to. Just the statement the prince was expecting to hear. He's essentially been making fun of them from the start. He's merely been toying with them. The villain bellows that it's the one who shows the greatest foresight who emerges victorious in the end. Just as Ultra Instinct is expected to do, Vegeta effortlessly dodges and counters his enemy's attack. Who thinks to himself, his movements, his aura, and that calmness. Though his key barrier ergonomically absorbs blows, so he doesn't believe he's going to be getting past his defense today. When he notices something, Vegeta, he's not moving anymore. Why is he stopped? Found a flaw? That's when Amaron launches his destruction powers. But with his Hakai failing, he shouts, "No, what's the point of all this power if it's rendered ineffective?" He doesn't understand. Our protagonist takes note that he seems to be able to use this destruction technique in the same way Lord Beerus or that guy from the Tournament of Power did. Top, of course. Looking back, what he just did may be more in the vein of what Frieza did to Goku using the borrowed energy of destruction right before the Tournament of Power. With a grimace, Amaron can tell that he's already faced this kind of attack. Is he wrong? No, he declares. I'm never wrong. Rushing back to fight, the prince is able to envision the trajectory of all his attacks, all the possible scenarios, and find the one which favors him the most. He's able to not only dodge the ki blasts, but dodge in such a way that it sets him up most optimally for the next blast, and the next evasion. This might even be working towards putting him in the right place to land his next attack. However, The destroyer notices that even when scanning him, he doesn't even seem to know himself what he is doing. He hasn't mastered anything at all, and he is still forced to pause and think of all of the possible courses of action. That is his flaw. He knows he has to multiply the possible options so that it doesn't give him too much free time to spot his own flaw. During this time, when he is vulnerable and searching, he can strike back. It's a real-life game of poker. This may be exactly what each of the warriors are thinking. At this point in the battle, both fighters are still more than capable of delivering a deadly blow, but warned enough that each mistake could be their last. Thinking he has the perfect timing. He's able to deliver a gut punch to Sadala's final hope. He bluntly explains that this power, when not mastered, is full of flaws. But the Saiyan is far too dangerous. It's not this simple sequence that'll take him down. So he implores his adversary to go ahead, attack him.
Flashlight na madaming gamit dahil sa lakas ng luwa. Rechargeable yan, 80 watts. Adjustable ang focal length. Pwedeng zoom,
more dangerous on defense than on offense. So he's trying to lure in his foe to give himself a slightly increased advantage.
Upang self-defense. High powerful military tactical flashlight. See comment link to order. Flashlight na
but not
madaming
losing
gamit
his
dahil sa
resolve.
lakas ng...
Amaran takes his pause as the opportunity to provoke him, quickly rushing away and blasting the remaining Saiyan soldiers while cackling.
Too slow! Come on, Vegeta! Give it your all! It is the fight of your life!
Admiral Lariak, almost frozen, he thinks to himself, this demon is slaughtering our people before our very eyes. And we're here, powerless. He calls himself miserable, feeling he is a failure as a leader of his people. From this point, they can only count on Vegeta, though the emptiness and pain inside of him are indescribable. One can only imagine how he feels. Mere months, weeks ago, he was considered by many to be a top 10 warrior on this entire planet. Now he's been delegated to a mere spectator. Reacting to the Destroyer's slight, could Vegeta's anger be detrimental to controlling his Ultra Instinct? This is exactly what the villain wanted. He questions if he can see that he's forcing him to obey his whim. Changing trajectory mid-attack. Vegeta knows he doesn't have time to adjust. Well played, Prince. Booting him in the face. The God of Destruction exhales that each of his strokes are so precise, so impactful. Pretty sure it's supposed to be strikes, but I'm not judging the man either way. Vegeta has made him lose a lot of his strength. It is true, but he's not going to complain. On the other hand, the time he takes to concentrate on the technique before each of his rushes towards him is so important that he can't necessarily take the risk every time, given what he's just done as example. But our hero just wants to get down to the facts. Don't waste his time with a senseless jabber. Continuing.
And yet, with this power, you ventured into the territory of the gods, and you're going to die by my hand. The irony has come full circle.
From his perspective, it's rather amusing that a mortal who uses the technique of the gods will himself have to be cut down by a god. His opponent scoffs. Your body is screaming at you to stop. Blood is coming out of every direction. You're the one in a weak position, God of Destruction. Snarling, he beckons.
Do you think so?
Appearing to use a gravity wall to suck the Saiyans into a giant pile. Even the prince doesn't know exactly what to do in this situation. Rushing again and screaming for him to stop. He's taken off guard by Amaran's hook and chain.
Get over here!
But grabbing him, Vegeta barks back. No! You're my prey! Trying to charge a mouth blast and hit him point blank. It looks like Vegeta may be tapped out. Astonished, The Destroyer thinks that it seems to him, the power of this Kikoa is not up to the same level of power that he was only 10 minutes ago. Vegeta can't take this anymore. Sure enough, his aura is gone. He's fallen back to his regular state. All the lesser Saiyans, for all we know, are dead. At least anyone with a name has managed to survive. Even if on the last leg. And for those who aren't gravely wounded, they're too exhausted to fight at this point. Broly points out that he can't move his body and Kale is still lying unconscious. King Sadala gazes forward and explains how Vegeta used a mysterious power, but he hadn't mastered it 100%. The backlash from this is terrible. And if we remember the impact this had on Goku when he first used it against Jiren, we can only expect Vegeta is in just as bad of shape. Placing his foot literally on his enemy's head. Is this really the end of the Universe 6 Saiyans? A planet Sadala? And of course, Vegeta. Does this segment of our story end not with our heroes miraculously being able to overcome this adversary, but instead the villain taking this as another preemptive victory in a multiversal war that is technically still yet to even begin?
Sulit ka sa Guard 2-in-1. Anti-dandruff shampoo na, may conditioner pa. Switch na!
Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy. So our story continues with the shocking return and reveal of Kaba, the Universe 6 Saiyan protege of Vegeta, who escaping from the ground, now covered in blood, and importantly, missing an entire arm, future Gohan style, would just tremble as he would struggle forward muttering, Kale, Caulifla, please be okay. Please be okay. But after the briefest of moments spent walking forward, his frail and quickly losing blood body would come to an abrupt stop. His lifeless eyes looking to the sky, endlessly pouring down as if it were reflecting his own grief and mourning, as he would now whisper in a quietening voice, I can't think like that. Even if I go now, you two need to live on. I just wish I was stronger. I wish I didn't let you two down. And as his head would finally begin to bow, looking to the floor, his words would then transform into thoughts, thinking, that demon, that monster, send him to hell for me. As now with his eyes closing and his vision turning to the dark abyss, his final goodbye would be, where I'm going, I better not see you two. Not for a while. And just like that, as if his entire life force and body had given up on him, his torso would collapse in on himself, hunching over, his moan just traveling into the wind. Before beginning to fall backwards in slow motion, his head and neck now almost a horizontal 180 degrees, ready to strike the ground until suddenly a white hand, gloved, almost like a guardian angel, would appear to grab onto the young Saiyan and stop his fall. Kaba! As it would eventually then be revealed to be none other than the Prince himself, Vegeta. As instantly recognizing his energy, Kaba would regain consciousness and yell out, Master! There's no way! Is it really you? Or am I dead? As now opening his eyes, he would continue, No, I can still feel the rain. It's so cold. What are you doing here? As smiling back, Vegeta would then respond, What am I doing here? Saving weaklings like you from dying, of course. What kind of teacher would I be if I let my best student go out like this? Twitcher, presumably now angry and disappointed in himself, Kaba would just grumble, "I'm sorry." But disregarding the apology, Vegeta would instead reach into his back pocket and respond, "Never mind that. I don't even know what's happened here yet. We need to talk, but you'll need your energy back first." As looking closer at his hand, once it would emerge, it would be revealed to contain a Senzu bean. As he would then look down to his student and say, "Here, stop talking and eat this." And with that, following his master's orders without question, Kappa would then swallow the strange vegetable. What? And almost instantly, like magic, Kappa, reinvigorated with life, would burst open his eyes with disbelief. As now back on his feet, standing on his own, and virtually blemishless compared to before, he would instantly yell, "My energy! It's all back! I'm healed already! What the hell was that, Master?" As Vegeta would initially just smile in the background, entertained by his reaction. But getting back to business soon, and observing his student closer, he would then say, "Yeah, healed somewhat. It's called a Senzu bean, a specialty of the Earthlings. But as far as that arm goes, that won't be coming back anytime soon. Tell me, what happened here?" As if Kappa's mood brought crashing back down to reality, he too would then look down to his missing arm and comment, "Yeah, it's a shame, but at least I'm still alive. All of this, was because of that one demon, that monster, the Emperor Flame." Flame! But instantly on hearing this, a wave of confusion and shock would come over the prince, as his mind would then cast back to the demon emperor he fought with Goku, also called Flame, and most definitely left defeated. As now angered and raising his fist, Vegeta would let out, "What's the meaning of this? Either these demons have the same names, or whoever did this to you is already one I took down. A tall freak with a bandana, always talking about women. Ring any bells?" To which Kappa, still looking down, saddened, would let out, "Yeah, that's the one. I guess if you fought him, that explains where he left off to." As beginning now to explain what exactly went on, Kappa would reveal, "That guy, he was insane. Kale, Caulifla, and myself were just outmatched. None of us could do a thing to him. I thought we were all going to die, but just before he could finish any of us off, it felt like someone was talking to him. Someone he kept calling Lucif. Before I knew it, he was gone, but that didn't mean we were safe." What? But still with a stunned look on his expression, Vegeta could hardly believe such a story, as he would then think back and recall, "That weakling demon did this? Really? Now that I think about it, mixed in with his nonsensical tales, he did mention something about fighting Saiyans before, didn't he? I guess I never even put two and two together. Huh. Serves me right for spending so much time with Kakarot. I'm getting dumber by the second." But soon enough, returning to normal, Vegeta would then continue. "Right. So when he eventually left, what happened then? You say he didn't beat you guys, yet you also say you weren't safe either. Don't tell me you three were taken out by the little weak demons roaming around. No, not at all, Master. But quick to dismiss such a thought, Kaba would be up in arms, or should I say, up in arm, as he would explain, no, someone worse came to replace him. Someone far worse. I don't know if he was just as strong, as we never really got to see the full power of either of them, but he definitely was far more evil. I'm only alive because he enjoyed playing with his prey so much. That's why I'm hoping Kaelin Caulifla survived too somewhere. Though Vegeta, perhaps for obvious reasons, would ignore the last part of what Kaba said and turn his back, looking to the sky, instead inquiring, judging by the fact there's no siphoning tower here yet, I'm guessing this demon you speak of is still here somewhere then. Quickly, tell me where he is. I'll deal with him now. To which Kaba would instantly reply, well, I was out cold, but if you think he's still fighting, then he has to be at the capital. That's where the most Saiyans would be, including the king and his guards. Maybe Kaelin Caulifla would be there too. But just like that, like in a rush, Vegeta would fly off, ready to meet this so-called evil demon. Wait! Leaving Kaba behind in the rain. Until ultimately, he too would then follow the lead of his master and shoot off towards the planet Sadala capital. But when our scene would eventually shift to where the once vibrant city was, full of Saiyan architecture, all that would be visible instead would seemingly be pure destruction. And our first sight of any life would then be a muscular leg, covered in electricity, as an iconic tail would swing in the background. You will pay for what you have done to my Sadala! As suddenly then seen, roaring with intensity and vigor, the long since appeared King of Sadala in his Super Saiyan 5 form would then be witnessed, his aura exploding as his crimson eyes would stare forward at his foe. Men, engage for battle! Yes, sir! As now surrounded by his vicious white aura, he would throw out commands to his nearby guards. A black-haired warrior in front as one example before. As in tandem, a group of Saiyans, much like the ones from planet Vegeta, would all instantly activate their golden Super Saiyan forms, all yelling out their loyalty to the planet they call home, each looking battle-worn, as if this fight had been going on for some time. Until in an instant, like moths towards a flame, the group of Super Saiyan warriors would rush forward towards a dark silhouette in the distance. A large, imposing figure that stands confidently with its hands on its hips, waiting for its next victim. As finally revealed as the second demon to have graced planet Sadala would be a large pink creature, clearly formulated from the evil of Majin Buu, his body slightly more muscular, yet still bearing a giant stomach which ripples as he grabs onto it. 2 devilish horns spiking out of his head, with a creepy teeth-filled grin it would let out. Come, you cretins! Come feed me, your pathetic souls! I'm hungry! And indeed, the Saiyans would then feed the monster. A mixture of knuckle sandwiches, to be precise, as each of the Saiyans would then go on to land a barrage of attacks, from punches to the face, knees into the stomach, a blast right on the demon skull, and finally a chopping strike right in between the creature's horns. But of course, in every situation, the impact would hardly seem to be making any difference. Delicious! As suddenly letting out an insane laughter rather than any sign of pain, the gluttonous demon would inadvertently drool out spit as he would yell, "This has been the most fun planet to devour yet! The silly hair colors, the misplaced confidence of you fools! Oh, I am so glad Lord Lucif allowed me to replace Flame. That jerk would never have been able to appreciate you. Now come." Before now lifting up his arms with a calm face, the demon would then finally say, "My turn to play." As thrusting his arms forward like shotguns, the obese demon would show insane speed for his size. Instantly grabbing 2 of the lone Super Saiyans by their faces alone, so quick neither could react, even from their distance. And as they would briefly react in panic, it would only last so long before... What? In a brutal display of overwhelming difference in strength, like popping 2 balloons, the demon would close his hands and in his grasp instantly kill both Saiyans, all as their fellow brethren would watch on in disbelief. Koka! Oba! No! And as one of the Super Saiyans would eventually scream out in rage and terror at the sight before him, his loud bellow would soon be cut short, transformed into a mellow sound of confusion, as he would look down and... Ow! Right in front of him, his entire torso would be pierced, penetrated from one end to the other by the great demon's sizable horn, splattering blood everywhere before... quickly being moved forwards with extreme speed. The unnamed Super Saiyan's now lifeless body would then be tossed off into the distance like mere discarded trash. Damn it! I can't do this! My king, I'm sorry! But as the last Saiyan god on the battlefield would realize just how pointless this attempt to win would be, his natural Saiyan instincts would fail him, and he would immediately turn and run. Hold on! I haven't finished my plate yet! But with the warrior in the demon's sights regardless, All he would need to do is bring the pink tentacle on the back of his skull into view before... Shot like a firework, the pink limb would fire across the area at unbelievable speed. Immediately wrapping around the neck of the fleeing Saiyan like a dog on a leash. And just like that, the Golden Fighter would be slammed to the ground and dragged unceremoniously towards his predator. Let go! Ultimately then being brought face to face with the giant demon, with his face quivering with fear as he would be lifted 6 feet off the ground by his head alone. And as his screams would become muffled as if there was a lack of air, his eyes would become bloodshot and his white complexion now a shade of red. The grip of the demon tentacle would seemingly be getting tighter and tighter until... like a champagne bottle being popped in a horrific scene, the evil Cabba spoke of would be in full view. As instantly decapitated, the Saiyan's head would burst off from his own body with an explosion of blood following him. A juicy one, aren't you? All before the now blood-covered demon, who with those same teeth would put on the most heartless of grins. You will pay for what you've done! As after witnessing this all happen right before his eyes, the enraged King of the Saiyans, in his Super Saiyan 5 form, would then retaliate by focusing all of his power into one singular ball of energy, glowing a vibrant golden yellow, as if its energy was the very essence of Super Saiyan power. Die, you beast! As just like that, giving it everything he had and more, in a ferocious forward-blasting energy beam, the power of the Sadala Saiyans would come rushing forward at the unstoppable demon. Silly me! How could I forget about the main course? But unsettlingly, even as his face would get lost in the light with the powerful blast of energy near enough at his doorstep, the only thing we would see is that same grin. But the confidence would mean little when on impact, an explosion worthy of the Saiyan race would then shockwave across the planet, being felt even throughout the universe with its sheer power and size. And on the other end, its creator, the King of Sadana, would be left exhausted, huffing and puffing away, as even he can't help but be in slight awe of his own abilities. You came to the wrong planet, you pink blob. The Saiyans are not to be messed with! As now feigning a smile, convinced that his attack had done the intended damage and saved Sadala once and for all, the Super Saiyan 5 would finally relax. The Saiyans? You mean those pests I just popped the heads of? Funny! But all calm and peace would be eradicated once the snarly voice of a certain demon would be heard. And be heard far too close to home. Ugh! How could you? How could you survive that? As right behind the Royal Saiyan, the pink demon would stand, towering over without a scratch, and his arms behind his head nonchalantly, grinning away as he would respond. Survive what? You mean that piddly attack from earlier? You mortals really do have no idea why the gods feared the demons. You're going to learn today! As in one unexpected swoop, with violent intent, the pink creature would bring both arms down swinging like pendulums, right down to slam on both sides of the unreactive Saiyan. His skull almost squeezed inwards like a Coke can as blood is forced out through his mouth. Impossible! As in the end, just with this strike alone, the king's entire transformation would fade, instantly reverting back to base with a look of pure confusion on his countenance, as he would first fall directly to his knees, and then onto his hands and feet, as if bowing to the victor, the new demonic king of Sedana. Well, that was a quick meal. I could leave you to provide your energy to Lord Lucifer, but honestly, I don't think you're worth much even alive. Time to say goodbye, my king. As now pointing his palm directly at the fallen back of the king, the dark demonic energy of pure black would formulate in his hand. So this is how it ends. The end of my lineage, just before my son's birth. As now with a tear falling from his eyes in his final moments, he would whisper, "Live on, Mato." But just as his eyes would begin to close, as his whole body would begin to shut down, in his now obscured view, mysteriously, two Saiyan boots would appear before him. As suddenly revealed would be none other than Vegeta finally, standing in front of both a bemused Saiyan and demon, as looking down at the Royal King, he would simply command, "Get up, Saiyan! Don't besmirch the royalty of my people! Up! Now!" What? As the demon who senses the complete lack of fear from this new warrior would simply question in caution, "Excuse me? Who the hell are you now? We're in the middle of something." I wasn't talking to you, Tommy.
Layers of crunch. Crunch the crunch.
As just like that, with just the sight of Vegeta's purple seraphim, struck by nothing but pure Saiyan presence, the sadistic creature would be catapulted far off into the distance, as if he had just been struck by a bulldozer. All while the prince himself would remain standing rock solid in front of the king. And with the demon now gone for the moment, still flying off, the space would clear for the Sedala Saiyan to now get up slowly. Eventually on his feet, standing in front of Vegeta, who he had never seen before, but he would just let out, "You! I'm going to guess you're not one of my men. Tell me, what is your name?" To which Vegeta, now just walking past the king uninterested, would just respond, "You know who I am, and I know who you are. Like I said, don't disgrace the name of a king, and don't disgrace the memory I have of my father. Now go! Go save the rest of your people! Don't die like my father did. I'll handle the rest from here." As true to his word, the Saiyan from Universe 7 would then fly off into the sky without a word more. While the king, reflecting on what the strange warrior had just said to him, would then think, "His father? So that was the so-called Saiyan King of Universe 7. One half of that monster, Vegito." Why that cretin? But meanwhile, back with the pink monster, in the distance, he would finally regain himself in the air and come to a stop. Who the hell does he think he is? What was that anyway? As now full of rage, his comparison to Majin Buu would be complete, as boiling steam would shoot ferociously out of his pores, and his classic grin would now turn to a furious grimace, wondering who this new mortal on the battlefield even was. Here he is. And it wouldn't be long before he would get his chance to find out, as Vegeta would soon reach his location. And now, cracking his knuckles, the prince would say, "Let's skip the chatter and get down to business. You aren't the first pink blob I've had to deal with, but you will be the last. Don't call me that!" As now enraged, following Vegeta's orders, it seems to skip the talk. Like a bull, he would rush instantly at Vegeta as if he were his greatest enemy. Now that's more like it. This will turn back the years for sure. As Vegeta, now looking to relive the past of a fight decades before, would then rush in with full enthusiasm. And unlike the Saiyans before, even with his black hair, when he would land a knee right on the pink demon's face, it would be felt for devastating impact. As would a left hook at point blank range. And as would each and every one of his following attacks in the brutal assault he would then barrage the demon with, who genuinely is not even able to fight back in the slightest. Until with one final punch, the monstrous pile of fat would be sent flying across the battlefield once more. This time, however, managing to recover quickly, landing on his feet with a beaten up face. You think attacks like that will do anything to me, mortal? Think again! But as his rage would build, much like the original Boo, the indentations from Vegeta's attacks would immediately just pop back out like fixing a dent in a car. Wait! But as he would peer closer, he would soon realize the Saiyan Prince may already be one step ahead. Oh, I know already, you blob. Like I said, this isn't my first time fighting someone like you. And this time, I'll make sure you die and stay that way! As now coated in a raging aura, with his fist pointed forward, underneath, a strange creature made of pure destructive energy would soon fall. Hakai! As shouting out the call of the destroyers, blasting forth would almost be a ghost of the gods of destruction that came before. What? This mortal knows the Hakai! But this final thought would truly be the last. As in a flash, completely encompassed, Vegeta's destructive attack would erase the demonic creature near instantly. And in the aftermath, just leaving a giant crater behind, similar to the one Vegeta left from his final atonement against Boo. But of course, with the prince still alive this time. As smirking away, the Seraphim Saiyan would then let out, "Huh. Guess the king was right after all. You don't ever want to mess with the Saiyans." But as this battle would end, elsewhere, a pair of mysterious feet would be seen walking across a dark red, stone-paved floor. A muscular hand, fraught with opening and closing eyes, would then begin to twitch, reacting to the nearby movement until...
What is it, slave?
As unbelievably, we would then finally see Lucif once more, sitting upon his throne, clearly ticked off over being disturbed, as he would then rudely ask,
This better be good. I don't like having my time wasted.
But the mystery figure that would respond, a creature with blue eyes and a dark silhouette, would then humbly reply, "My apologies, my lord, but I come with good news from the demon realm. That Vegito, he has finally fallen. The God Killer is dead." And on hearing this, what would have started as a small chuckle would then evolve into a full-blown laugh, clearly extremely pleased, as if he had been waiting for this day for some time. As almost schizophrenically calming down, fading into the shadows, he would then address the mystery figure once more who delivered the news and say,
My, what glorious news. It's only fitting you would be the one to deliver it. My little sleeper agent.
You have my thanks. Whis! My pleasure, my lord. As in a shocking, unexpected twist, seen for the very first time since the second ever chapter of Ultra Vegito, Whis is revealed as alive once more, and somehow working for Lucif of all creatures. How? What? Why? Find out in the next episode of Ultra Vegito. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Whis in the comments down below and let me know just how Whis survived and what he's doing with Lucifer. Or just find out now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,700 other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.